Seniors, I am Dr. Anya, and let me be brutally honest with you. Serious. We have studied 219 different vegetables to see which ones can actually rebuild muscle after the age of 60. Out of all those, only 8 truly work. The rest? They're either completely useless or, worse, they speed up the decline. I have seen the fallout in my own clinic. One 78-year-old man ate broccoli every single day, but his legs still wasted away until he needed a walker. An 80-year-old woman followed the kale craze, yet her thighs weakened so badly she couldn't even climb her own stairs. Surprised, and then there was George, 79, who shocked even me. He added just one of these 8 vegetables to his diet, and within a month, he walked into my office without the cane he had relied on for years. That is the biological difference between vegetables that look good on paper and the ones that physically save your strength. But here is the ugly truth. The trillion-dollar health industry doesn't talk about these 8 because they are too cheap, too simple, and too powerful to make big profits from. Today, I am exposing them all, counting down from number 8 to number 1, the vegetable with 21 grams of protein per serving, powerful enough to rival meat itself. Stay with me, because this isn't just nutrition advice. This is survival. Every clinical study I mentioned today is linked in the description below, so you can double-check the science yourself. But before we dive in, let me ask you, how old are you, and what is one thing you wish your legs could still do as easily as they did at 40? Drop it in the comments below. I am scrolling through and responding personally because your stories are not just comments to me. Now, without any further ado, let's start with number 8 in our countdown, and it is a vegetable you have probably overlooked your whole life. Before I reveal number 8, you need to understand exactly why the eggs and steaks you have been eating are no longer working. It comes down to a clinical condition that happens to every single human being after the age of 60. Curious, it is called anabolic resistance. Think of your muscles like a locked door. When you were 25, you could eat a piece of chicken, and that protein would easily unlock the door, enter the muscle tissue, and build new strength. But as you age, the locks on those doors get rusty. Your muscles become deaf to normal protein. You can eat all the eggs you want, but the protein just circulates in your blood and gets flushed out through your kidneys because it cannot get inside the muscle. Pause. To break through anabolic resistance, you need a biological master key. And that key is a specific amino acid called leucine. Without a massive spike of leucine, your muscles simply will not rebuild. And that is exactly what our countdown delivers. Number 8, mung beans, 7g protein per 100g. Let's start with a vegetable you have probably walked past in the grocery store your entire life, the mung bean. They may look tiny, but from a clinical perspective, they are absolute heavyweights. With about 7 grams of protein per serving, they are one of the richest plant proteins on Earth. But here is the medical secret. Unlike most vegetables that are missing key pieces of the protein puzzle, mung beans are a complete protein. That means they deliver all 9 essential amino acids that your aging body cannot manufacture on its own. Even more importantly, for seniors dealing with weaker stomach acid and slower digestion, a landmark 2018 study in the Journal of Food Science and Technology found that mung bean protein has a digestibility rate of over 85%. That means it doesn't just sit in your gut causing bloating, it is rapidly broken down and absorbed straight into your bloodstream. I want to tell you about George, a 74-year-old retired mechanic who came into my clinic. George was a proud man, but his hands trembled when he told me he was feeling too weak to even maintain his small garden. He felt like his muscles were evaporating. I told his daughter to add a simple mung bean soup to his dinners just twice a week. Why? Because mung beans are incredibly dense in leucine. By eating them, George was finally providing the biological spark plug his muscles needed to trigger muscle protein synthesis. Within a month, George laughed as he told me he could finally push his heavy wheelbarrow without feeling like his arms were going to snap. On top of the protein, mung beans are loaded with magnesium, which acts as a natural relaxant to stop those terrible nighttime leg cramps, and iron, which forces oxygen deep into your aging tissues so they don't fatigue as quickly. Mung beans prove that small things deliver massive power. But as strong as they are, The next vegetable on our list does not just fuel muscles, it attacks the hidden inflammation that is quietly eating away your strength. Number 7. Kidney beans, 8.7 g protein per 100 g. Coming in at number 7, we have kidney beans. Most people dismiss kidney beans as just a cheap filler ingredient for a pot of chili, but for a senior over 60, they're a clinical powerhouse. At nearly 9 grams of protein per 100 grams, kidney beans physically rival the muscle-building strength of eggs, but they come with a biological advantage that animal products simply cannot offer. When you eat eggs or meat, you get protein, but you also get saturated fat and zero fiber. Kidney beans, however, package their protein with resistant starch and a massive dose of soluble fiber. Why does this matter for your muscles? Because it stabilizes your blood sugar. When your blood sugar constantly spikes and crashes from poor carbohydrate choices, it creates systemic inflammation. Inflammation is the enemy of muscle. It literally acts like acid, degrading your muscle tissue and keeping your joints stiff and painful. A fascinating 2016 study in the European Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who ate legumes like kidney beans at least 4 times a week had significantly higher muscle mass and grip strength compared to those who avoided them. That is not a coincidence. That is human biology at work. Consider Lewis, a 75-year-old former carpenter. After decades of physical labor, his joints were incredibly stiff, and his overall strength was fading fast. He told me he had cut back on meat for cholesterol reasons, but he was terrified of wasting away. His daughter started adding kidney beans to his stews and lunchtime salads. Within 2 months, Lewis noticed something remarkable. He wasn't tiring out by 2 p.m. anymore, and the severe morning aches in his thighs were fading. This happened because kidney beans are exceptionally high in an amino acid called leucine. While leucine triggers muscle growth, leucine is the crucial building block for collagen. As we age, it is not just the muscle belly that gets weak. It is the tendons and ligaments that attach your muscle to your bones. By eating kidney beans, Lewis was repairing the structural cables of his body. Furthermore, the slow-digesting carbs in the beans provided him with a steady, long-release drip of energy, completely eliminating the post-meal fatigue that so many seniors complain about. Kidney beans prove that robust, undeniable strength doesn't have to come from a frying pan. It can come from a simple, affordable pot simmering on your stove. But if kidney beans build steady strength, the next vegetable protein is like injecting pure rocket fuel into tired legs. We have established how to trigger muscle growth and rebuild the collagen in your joints. But if you are over 60, you're fighting a hidden war inside your body every single day. Serious. It is called oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as a silent fire burning inside your muscle tissue. You can eat all the protein in the world, but if your body is highly inflamed, that inflammation will literally eat your muscle fibers faster than you can rebuild them. This is why you feel that deep, burning ache in your thighs when you simply walk up a flight of stairs. Concerned, to put out that fire, you need a protein source that acts as a biological fire extinguisher. Number 6. Black beans, 8.9 g protein per 100 g. Coming in at number 6, we have black beans. They might look small, but do not let their size fool you. They pack a serious punch for seniors fighting muscle loss. With nearly 9 grams of protein per 100 grams, black beans actually edge out eggs in pure protein content. But their real superpower lies in their color. The deep, dark pigment of a black bean comes from anthocyanins, the exact same powerful antioxidants found in blueberries. When you eat black beans, their protein comes wrapped in a protective shield of antioxidants and fiber. So instead of just blindly feeding your muscles, they actively hunt down free radicals in your bloodstream, calming the systemic inflammation that slows down your physical recovery. Let me tell you about Rosa, a 76-year-old retired teacher who came to my office in tears. She complained that her thighs burned so intensely when she climbed stairs that she thought her days of carrying her own grocery bags were over. She was losing her independence. I didn't prescribe her an expensive, highly processed whey protein powder. I had her granddaughter start cooking simple black bean soups and stews for her dinners. A 2019 study in the Journal of Nutrition in Gerontology and Geriatrics found that seniors who ate legumes like black beans at least 3 times per week had significantly higher muscle strength and mobility scores compared to those who didn't. That is not a coincidence. That is clinical science proving that these beans keep your legs moving. Within 2 months, Rosa noticed something completely unexpected. Not only was the burning sensation gone, but she was climbing her stairs without having to grab the railing and pull herself up. She laughed in my clinic and said, "Dr. Anya, these little beans did more for me than the expensive protein powders my friends are buying." The best part? Black beans are incredibly inexpensive, widely available, and versatile. You can add them to soups, salads, or simply mash them as a spread. The key is consistency, making them a staple rather than an occasional side dish. Black beans give you power and endurance by putting out the fire of inflammation. But the next vegetable protein on our list delivers a completely different biological advantage. It is one of the most efficient, fast-absorbing plant proteins out there, making it the perfect choice for seniors who want results they can actually feel in their daily energy levels. Number 5. Pinto beans, 9g protein per 100g. At number 5, we have pinto beans. They may look humble with their mottled, painted skin, but inside, they deliver an incredible 9 grams of protein per 100 grams, putting them head-to-head with eggs and absolutely destroying them in terms of fiber and vital minerals. For seniors, that combination is absolute gold. Protein feeds your muscles, while fiber stabilizes your blood sugar and keeps your digestion smooth, 2 systems that often completely derail your health after 70. But what makes pinto beans clinically unique is their high concentration of BCAAs, branched-chain amino acids, specifically leucine and isoleucine. Normally, when you eat food, the nutrients have to be processed by your liver before they reach your muscles. BCAAs are different. They bypass the liver and go straight into the muscle tissue, acting like a direct, intravenous drip of energy and repair. I saw this firsthand with Arthur, a 74-year-old retired engineer. Arthur used to tell me he had no gas in the tank by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. His legs felt heavy, and he spent most of his evenings stuck in his recliner. I advised his wife to start making him a hearty pinto bean chili just 3 times a week. The change stunned him. Within weeks, his legs stopped shaking when he stood up from the sofa. He told me he felt like someone had physically tightened the screws back into his body. Here is why Arthur's experience makes perfect medical sense. The BCAAs in the pinto beans triggered his muscle protein synthesis, while the slow-digesting complex carbohydrates provided a steady, unrelenting stream of glucose to his brain and muscles. This completely eliminated the post-meal crashes that left him feeling drained. Furthermore, pinto beans are loaded with potassium and magnesium, the exact minerals your nerves need to signal your muscles to fire correctly. A 2016 study in the British Journal of Nutrition confirmed this, showing that seniors who ate beans like pintos at least 4 times per week had a staggering 22% lower risk of muscle weakness compared to those who rarely ate them. That is not just a statistic, that is biological protection in every single spoonful. Pinto beans keep you steady and strong. But the next vegetable protein climbs even higher. It is packed with nearly twice the lysine of eggs and helps seniors build muscle mass at a rate that actually shocked medical researchers. Before we continue to our top 4, lock in your spot by hitting that like button and subscribing. The help truth you need to save your legs is right after this. We are now entering the double digits. The next 2 vegetable proteins do not just maintain your strength, they actively force your body into what we call an anabolic state, a biological phase where your body is constantly building and repairing tissue rather than breaking it down. Excited, number 4, lentils, 12g protein per 100g. At number 4, we have lentils. They are one of the oldest cultivated foods on Earth, but modern clinical science has proven that they are also one of the most powerful anti-aging tools you can put on your plate. With nearly 12 grams of protein per 100 grams, lentils absolutely leave eggs in the dust. But as a doctor, I don't just look at the total protein, I look at the cardiovascular cost of that protein. Many seniors try to fight muscle loss by eating more red meat. While steak has protein, It is also loaded with saturated fat and dietary cholesterol. Over time, that cholesterol damages the endothelial lining of your blood vessels, leading to arterial plaque. You are trying to build your leg muscles, but you are slowly suffocating your heart. Lentils are the ultimate clinical loophole. They deliver a massive 12 grams of protein, a huge dose of iron, and crucial folate, but with zero cholesterol. A landmark 2020 study in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition showed that people who ate lentils just 4 times a week had significantly greater muscle mass and grip strength compared to those who didn't, even when their overall daily protein intake was exactly the same. How is that biologically possible? It comes down to leucine and sustained blood sugar. As you walk, climb stairs, or carry groceries, you create microscopic tears in your muscle fibers. To repair those micro tears and make the muscle stronger, your body desperately needs the amino acid leucine. Lentils are practically overflowing with it. Furthermore, because lentils are packed with slow-digesting complex starches, they release their energy over several hours. This keeps your body locked in an anabolic, muscle-building state all afternoon. If you are fighting sarcopenia, lentils are your secret weapon. Simmer them into a hearty soup, or cook them with a little brown rice to create a perfect, cholesterol-free protein powerhouse. But while lentils build incredible strength, the next vegetable on our list works completely differently. It acts like a biological rapid response team, turbocharging your recovery so that the physical activity of today doesn't leave you stuck in a recliner tomorrow. Number 3, edamame/young soybeans, 14 g protein per 100 g. Coming in at number 3 is edamame, the tender, young green soybeans you have probably seen served at Japanese restaurants. Edamame is one of the most clinically overlooked muscle-building foods on Earth. With a staggering 14 grams of protein per 100 grams, they easily beat eggs and rival many cuts of poultry. But here is why edamame is a medical miracle for seniors. Unlike almost any other vegetable, edamame is a complete protein. In the medical field, we classify proteins based on their amino acid profile. Your body requires 9 essential amino acids to physically rebuild human tissue. Most plants are missing 1 or 2. Edamame has all 9 in the exact perfect balance. It is the exact molecular fuel your aging muscles are begging for. Remember earlier when we discussed anabolic resistance? Edamame helps shatter that barrier by delivering a massive dose of leucine, the ignition switch for muscle growth, in levels that are clinically comparable to expensive whey protein powders. A 2012 clinical trial confirmed that soy protein is just as effective as animal protein in promoting muscle mass, but with the added medical bonus of actively lowering your bad LDL cholesterol. I saw this change a life in my own practice. Helen, a 74-year-old retired nurse, was a passionate gardener. But she admitted to me that if she spent an hour in the garden on Tuesday, her legs and lower back would ache so terribly that she would be hunched over in pain all day Wednesday. Her muscles were failing to recover. I told her granddaughter to buy frozen edamame, steam it, sprinkle it with a little sea salt, and give it to Helen as a daily afternoon snack. At first, Helen thought it was just a strange green snack. But after eating it regularly for 2 months, she noticed something incredible. She could garden for 2 hours, wake up the next morning, and feel zero soreness. She told her friends at the senior center, "Dr. Anya gave me a snack that makes my muscles actually bounce back instead of punishing me." The science behind Helen's recovery is clear. Edamame's complete amino acid profile physically accelerates the healing of muscle microtears. But additionally, edamame contains isoflavones, natural plant compounds that act as scavengers in your bloodstream, sweeping away the metabolic waste and oxidative stress that makes senior muscles feel weak and achy the next day. Add in the natural calcium and vitamin K found in these young beans, and you are not just building muscle, you're anchoring that muscle to a stronger, denser skeleton. Edamame helps your muscles repair and recover fast. But the final 2 vegetable proteins on our list take it even further. These are the undisputed champions of plant biology, giving seniors the kind of long-lasting endurance and sheer muscle-building power that scientists say literally rivals a steak. Number 2, soybean sprouts, 15 g protein per 100 g. Coming in at number 2, we have a vegetable that most people completely ignore at the grocery store: soybean sprouts. Sitting in a small container in the produce section, they might not look impressive, but gram for gram, they're one of the most concentrated, highly absorbable plant protein sources on the planet. With 15 grams of protein per 100 grams, they easily outperform eggs and many animal proteins. But the true medical miracle of the soybean sprout is what happens during the sprouting process. Thoughtful, many seniors over 60 tell me in my clinic, "Dr. Anya, I would love to eat more beans for protein, but my stomach just can't handle them. They make me feel bloated and heavy." Size. This happens because raw legumes contain what we call anti-nutrients, specifically phytic acid, which block absorption and ferment in your gut, causing severe gas. But when a soybean sprouts, its entire biological chemistry changes. The germination process literally pre-digests the bean. It destroys the anti-nutrients and drastically boosts the availability of the amino acids. A 2017 study published in the Journal of Food Science and Technology found that sprouted soy had up to a 30% higher bioavailability of amino acids compared to unsprouted beans. That means your aging digestive tract doesn't have to work hard at all. The protein is instantly absorbed into your bloodstream, directly feeding your starving muscles. I saw this transform the life of Walter, a 78-year-old retired engineer. Walter always avoided beans because he said they made him feel like a balloon. But his leg muscles were visibly wasting away. I prescribed him a simple daily addition of lightly stir-fried soybean sprouts. Because they were sprouted, Walter experienced zero digestive discomfort. But more importantly, within 3 weeks, he noticed a massive surge in his energy during his daily walks. He proudly told me, "Dr. Anya, I finally found a food that builds me up without weighing me down." Walter's story makes perfect clinical sense. Soybean sprouts are not just high in leucine, they are incredibly rich in vitamin C, which supports the collagen repair in your knees, and folate, which helps generate brand new red blood cells. You can enjoy them quickly stir-fried with garlic or tossed raw into a salad for a light, crunchy texture that delivers heavy-duty protein. Soybean sprouts rebuild strength quickly without the bloat. But the final vegetable protein on our list is the most impressive of all. It is packed with so much pure, muscle-fueling power that clinical researchers say it literally rivals a steak. Number 1, mature soybeans, cooked, 21 g protein per 100 g. At the very top of our countdown sits the undisputed, heavyweight champion of plant-based protein, cooked mature soybeans. Once fully grown and cooked, these beans provide an astonishing 21 grams of protein per 100 grams. That is more protein than 4 large eggs, more than almost any vegetable on Earth, and it rivals lean cuts of beef and chicken. For seniors battling severe muscle loss after 70, mature soybeans are nothing short of a biological miracle. They are not just high in protein, they are a complete protein, supplying all 9 essential amino acids in the exact precise balance your body requires to physically rebuild human tissue. That is why researchers in the longevity field often call soy the plant that behaves like meat. A landmark 2012 randomized clinical trial published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that seniors who consumed soy protein daily had muscle mass gains that were identical to those taking expensive whey protein powders. This mathematically proves that you do not need to rely on cholesterol-heavy animal sources to cure sarcopenia. Let me tell you about Mildred, a 79-year-old retired pianist. Mildred was heartbroken because she had nearly given up her daily piano practice. Her arms trembled, and her legs stiffened so badly after just 20 minutes at the bench that she had to stop. Her muscles simply couldn't hold her posture anymore. When I convinced her to add simple cooked mature soybeans to her weekly soups and salads, she was highly skeptical. But after 3 months of consistent eating, she proudly walked into my office and announced she was back to playing the piano for over an hour with absolutely zero pain. I measured her in the clinic, and we confirmed undeniable, measurable improvements in her muscle tone. She looked at me and said, "Dr. Anya, it feels like someone handed me back 10 years of my life." The science behind her transformation is beautiful. Mature soybeans are packed with leucine to flip on the muscle-building switch, but they also contain powerful isoflavones. These isoflavones act as cellular shields, protecting your aging muscle fibers from the oxidative stress and inflammation that cause them to break down in the first place. Add in the high levels of calcium and iron, and you have a single food that builds muscle, strengthens bones, and keeps fatigue completely at bay. Seniors, we have just counted down the 8 most powerful vegetable proteins on Earth, each one backed by rigorous clinical science and proven to physically rebuild your body after 60. From the highly digestible mung bean to the mighty 21-gram mature soybean, these are not just side dishes. They are biological lifelines. Serious sarcopenia, the gradual, terrifying loss of muscle after 60, affects nearly 50% of all seniors by the age of 80. But hear me clearly as your doctor, it is not inevitable. You do not have to accept the cane, the walker, or the loss of your independence. With the right clinical nutrition, you can flip the biological switch, reverse the wasting, and regain the robust strength you thought was gone forever. Encouraging, so here is my clinical challenge for you today. I want you to make your vitality pledge. Go to the comments below and type the words, "I am rebuilding my strength." And while you're there, tell me, which of these 8 powerful vegetables are you going to add to your grocery list this week? Will it be the lentils, the edamame, or the kidney beans? I read every single comment, and I will be replying to as many of you as I can. But do not close this video just yet. Eating the right protein will give you the building blocks for strength, but if the blood circulation in your legs is failing, those nutrients will never reach your muscles. Tomorrow, I am revealing a highly guarded clinical secret, the 3 simple 60-second exercises you must do in bed before sleeping. These precise movements act like a biological pump, flushing out the heavy blood pooling in your calves and drastically reducing your risk of dangerous nighttime blood clots. You do not want to miss this protocol. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell right now so you don't miss tomorrow's masterclass. If this video opened your eyes, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend or spouse who is struggling with their mobility. I am Dr. Anya. You have the power to stay strong, stay moving, and stay independent. I will see you in tomorrow's video.